Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 38 of our Supersize Your Business Annual Challenge. Do this one thing today, starting today, and more often if you are open to it, to supersize and grow your business. What the heck is this one thing? I keep teasing what the topic is just as a test. Well, I'm going to say today we need to face one fear. We need to stand up to and be courageous about one thing and step out of our comfort zone. Why do I think that this is the antidote to fear? Because courage is having courage, showing courage, not never being afraid, because we're all afraid of something some of the time, right? And sometimes it's the most inane, silly thing that we've developed a fear for, and so we don't do it. We procrastinate. We make all kinds of excuses for why we can't do a certain thing or why we haven't done it yet, and it just doesn't serve us well, right? It definitely doesn't serve our business well. We just stay stuck in an endless loop of avoidance and things. So I used to share in this actual community an idiom every day. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how could you use it to grow and build and supersize your business? Why? Because I think words and vocabulary are very important. And the more words, the more ways we have of describing something, the more feelings we have access to. And the more feelings we have access to, especially the positive, higher vibrating feelings, the easier it is to create our business, the business that we love and want to have. So one of them that I shared was hit the spot. Hit the spot, and we want to hit a bullseye. I used the target to describe that, and talked about our comfort zone. These are different layers of our comfort zone. And the green one, and I'll share what I wrote on here. I wrote past. The past is things that we're totally comfortable with, absolutely positively in our comfort zone. No doubt in our mind that if something like something we've done before comes up, we got it handled. We're going to figure it out. And the next version is now. What's going on right now? How comfortable do we feel taking actions in different areas of our life right now, especially with respect to our business? This one is the future, and this is where it gets hairy, because we try to stay in our comfort zone as much as humanly possible in every area of our life. And what does that do? That keeps us getting the same results we're getting right now. So if we ever want to change anything, we have to go and take a little jump out of our comfort zone. So we talked about that. How do you do that? Well, you have to show a little courage. You have to face one thing that you're afraid of and then take one action toward that thing. And when you do that, anything becomes possible. So what are some examples of how you could do this? So grab a magnifying glass. You could first ask yourself, and do this today. Take one action in your business that you've been putting off or have been afraid to do. I'll share a story. I had a customer in my Italian food manufacturing business. They were our biggest customer. They represented about 80% of our gross sales at the time, and they were horrible. It took the most manpower, the most resources, the most energy, the most time, the most emotional damage to deal with this one customer. And I'd known for several years, but for about a year, that I needed to let them go. And it was one of the hardest decisions I had to make. Why? Because it was totally outside my comfort zone. I was totally happy with the 80% of the revenue that they were generating for my business, but I was totally dissatisfied with the way they were treating us, that they didn't respect our boundaries, they didn't honor anything that we did or said, and it became a really dysfunctional relationship that had to be removed from the business. Look, fortunately for us, when I was finally brave enough to get up the courage to fire that customer, we actually, it only took us 3 months to replace all of that revenue, which is incredible. And I wondered why I hadn't done it sooner, because it would have been nice to have a better previous year. So you could do something like that. So pick something that you're feeling a little nervous or afraid of and do that thing today, or at least make a step toward it. Maybe you need to have a tough team conversation. Maybe you need to launch a new offer. Maybe you need to ask your customers what they actually want from you. Anything like that. And then ask yourself some questions about this. And as you're doing it or after you've done it, what have you been putting off that you know you need to do because you're afraid of it? I was absolutely totally afraid that we would lose that business and we would go out of business. Was that a rational fear? No. But did I absolutely have it, and did it feel real to me at the time? Yes. Then ask yourself, what's something I did in the past that terrified me, that I was afraid of? And this is the example I just shared with you. But I'm super glad I did it. Changed the face of my business forever. And then who would I become if I regularly chose courage over comfort? We actually did, I think it was in 2018, our annual challenge was to do one thing every day that scared us. It was about stretching our comfort zone a little tiny bit every day. And I would say that that challenge in and of itself is why I'm able to show up here every day. Otherwise, I wouldn't, because it's not always that comfortable, right? If I can help you with any way on this, hit me up and ask. Otherwise, in the comments below, share one thing that you did, one action that you took to show courage and overcome something that you've been putting off for a long time. No matter how big or how small, it's important that you do this today. All right, have a great day, and I will, of course, see you tomorrow.